Hi, Mystery Recap here. Today, I am going to explain an Indian black comedy crime thriller film called Andhadhun. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care.
Yo, y'all watch that RRR movie? Welcome back, Flo.
A farmer in the outskirts of Pune is being troubled by a hare. He chases after the animal with a gun and takes aim at it. A loud gunshot is heard as the screen goes blank. Somewhere in Pune lives a talented blind pianist named Akash. He lives alone, cooks, and cleans after himself, despite his disability. Akash is frequently bothered by a kid who thinks he is not blind. The kid goes far and beyond to try to prove his theory, but hasn't been successful yet. One morning, after being troubled by the kid as always, Akash goes to a music shop. We find out he plans to move to London in a month to work in a famous pub. The shop's owner thinks he is a great man for not letting his impaired vision hold him back in life. Then, we are introduced to a former Bollywood actor, Pramod Sinha. He lives with his young wife, Simi, on the posh side of Pune. Despite often being criticized for the age difference, they are happily married. Pramod very happily. Apart from Simi, Pramod's only immediate family is his daughter from his first marriage, Danny. She doesn't live with the couple, but visits them once in a while. One afternoon, Akash is hit by a scooter while trying to cross the road. The driver is a girl named Sophie who feels awful even after helping him up. She invites him to lunch as an apology. They talk for a while, and upon finding out Akash is a pianist, Sophie invites him to perform at her father's restaurant. Later that day, Akash returns home and takes off his glasses, alongside the foggy lenses. This is when it is revealed that he has been lying about being blind. He rationalizes it as a method to make his creative senses flow. Being blind gives him a vision of music that he doesn't see otherwise. Hence, he has been living a lie for the past few years and making a career out of it. The next day, he goes to Sophie's restaurant for the first time and plays the piano. Everyone is thoroughly impressed, mostly because they think he is blind. Coincidentally, Pramod is also at the restaurant, equally impressed by Akash. His and Simi's third wedding anniversary is in a few days, and he wishes to surprise her with live music. Akash promises to come to his apartment to play for them. Because the actor wants their day to be a surprise, he lies to Simi that he will be out of town. Simi is annoyed, but she understands that her husband is a busy man. While returning home from work, Sophie has to stay at Akash's home because of the rain. He pretends to not look when she changes into his clothes in front of him.
Wow.
The two have felt the sparks between them in the past few days they have been together. Soon, they begin to make out and spend the night together. In the following scene, Akash is outside Pramod's apartment. Simi opens the door and asks him to go away because her husband is not home. Akash insists that he was supposed to be here, but she doesn't listen. However, when an old neighbor sees them, Simi feels uncomfortable and lets Akash in. He gets to work and is enjoying himself, but that is until he notices Pramod's dead body on the floor. The pianist is shocked to his core, but he doesn't stop playing. Simi disregards her husband's dead body, thinking that since Akash cannot see, she has enough time to hide it. A while later, he makes his way to the bathroom and gets a full view of the dead man. While keeping cool, he enters the bathroom only to see that a man is hiding inside. Akash pees in front of
Oh, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. The story is a blind man who pretends to be blind witnesses a murder.
Enters the bathroom only to see that a man is hiding inside. Akash pees in front of him and returns to the piano without giving away that he is panicking. A flashback shows us that Simi and the stranger were having an affair behind Pramod's back. On being caught, they panicked and shot him dead. While Akash continues playing, the killers clean up the mess and put Pramod's dead body in a suitcase. Then,
y'all finna see me do this. I'm finna be Ray Charles in this bitch.
Simi pretends to be talking to Pramod, trying to make it seem like he has returned home. Akash plays along and leaves after saying goodbye. Outside, he has to sit down for some time to take everything in and decide what he must do next. He is approached by a local lottery ticket seller named Saku. She offers to help him by calling him a rickshaw. The rickshaw driver, Murli, recognizes Akash as a regular customer and brings him to the police station at his request. Akash has decided to tell the police what he saw, but seconds before doing so, the head police inspector Manohar arrives. He is the same man who was Simi's accomplice in the murder. Akash freezes mid-sentence and pretends to be complaining about his cat's murder. Manohar recognizes him instantly and accompanies him to his house to see if the dead cat story is true. He also wants to make sure that Akash is actually blind and doesn't know about Pramod's death. To do so, he throws
Yo, let's see me tossing and turning, dropping shit. Oh my god!
a knife at him, but Akash doesn't flinch. After the inspector leaves, Akash goes to the restaurant he works in. He knows that he has to act normal in order to not be suspected. Simi also comes to the restaurant, casually telling people that her husband is out for work. Then, the next morning, Pramod's death is broadcasted on the news as a case of robbery. He was found inside his car by a bridge with a watch and jewelry missing. Manohar takes the case into his own hands to make sure the truth never comes out. For investigation, Pramod's daughter Danny, Simi, and Akash are all called to the police station. Danny seeks reassurance from Simi, unaware that she killed her father. Meanwhile, Akash refrains from telling the truth, scared of ending up like Pramod. At the funeral, their neighbor Mrs. Desai, who had seen Akash come to the house, approaches a policeman. She had been keeping an eye on the neighbor's apartment on the day of the death and knows that something about the story is off. Simi thinks the old woman will be a problem if she digs into the case. Hence, the next time they are alone, she pushes Miss Desai off the balcony and kills her. To Akash's misfortune, he witnesses the incident and has to pretend to have not seen anything for the second time.
Twice? Oh my god. Twice? Oh my god.
He quickly rushes home and calls Sophie, planning to tell her everything. What he doesn't know is that the annoying neighbor kid is taking a video of him at the same time. Before Sophie, Simi comes to his house, offering him sweets from Pramod's funeral. Akash keeps his guard up and invites her in. He makes coffee for her and then turns around to see Simi wearing a ghost face mask. She wants to startle him and catch him in a lie, but he doesn't give her a reaction. As they chat, Simi points a gun at him, which makes Akash come clean. He swears that he won't tell anyone about the murder and that he'll move to London right away. Suddenly, he feels dizzy and falls unconscious. It turns out Simi had drugged the sweet that she offered him. When Sophie comes to meet him, the kid shows her the video that proves Akash is not blind. She furiously knocks on the door, only to be received by a naked Simi. She pretends to have slept.
This bitch is way too fucking smart. She is way too smart.
With Akash, who is still unconscious. A heartbroken Sophie storms off after that. Akash only wakes up hours later with a strange feeling in his eyes. He tries opening them and finds out that he cannot see anything. He has actually been blinded by Simi, so
Huh? Oh my god. Yo, this movie is way too good. What? I'd be losing my shit.
Even if he tries telling the truth, people won't believe him. What if he tells people he heard the murder?
Oh my god.
He calls Sophie for help, but she blocks his number, leaving him with no options. Meanwhile, the events have caused...
If the movie ended right here, this movie would have gone...
a dent in Manohar and Simi's relationship. He is mad at her for not killing Akash instead of just blinding him. Simi argues she is not a serial killer, sending him to finish the job. When it gets dark, the policeman breaks in and tries to strangle the pianist to death. Akash struggles and manages to escape after hurting him. However, he has difficulty navigating through the neighborhood after really going blind. In the morning, he wakes up in a hospital surrounded by Dr. Swami, the rickshaw driver Murli, and the lottery ticket seller Saku. They found him in the streets last night and brought him to the hospital. Dr. Swami makes an appointment with an optometrist at Akash's request. His first priority is to get his eyes checked, then to flee the country. However, hours pass, but he is never taken to the doctor. Outside, Saku, Murli, and the doctor discuss the amount of money they are about to earn. They are planning to sell Akash's organs in the black market, since he is an easy target with no family members. When they put him on a hospital bed, Akash hears them talking about surgery and panics. They restrain him, making it evident that they are planning to do something bad. They sedate him, but before passing out, Akash mentions that Saku has a Lord Shiva tattoo on her arm. The three are shocked because no one ever told him about the tattoo. They think it is a sign from God and decide to withdraw the plan. Upon waking up, Akash is told he was about to be killed. The group asks him if he is actually blind. Akash affirms and suggests a better way for them to make money. He hopes that if they get the money, they will spare his life and let him go. Then he tells them everything about Manohar, Simi, and how they killed her husband. But he adds that the murderers have $1 million that they can share with the group if blackmailed. Their eyes glow with greed, and they decide to help Akash after that.
Gosh.
In the following scene,
niggas, bro.
Simi returns home to see Akash playing the piano with Danny. She is shocked at the audacity of the guy and is nervous about him revealing the truth. Hence, she quickly calls Manohar and asks him to come to a location. After that, she offers Akash a ride to get him to Manohar and kill him. On their way, Akash asks her for 10 lakhs rupees to keep his mouth shut so he can get a cornea transplant. She refuses to give him any money, but Akash already has a backup plan. Murli's rickshaw blocks their car, and Akash sedates Simi when she is distracted. Then, the group abducts her, hoping to ask Manohar for a huge ransom in exchange for her life. Next, Akash calls Manohar's wife Rasika and tells her everything. She is asked to give them 1 million rupees by tomorrow if she doesn't want her husband's reputation to be ruined. Rasika, who has anger issues, loses her mind. She threatens to kill her husband and only stops when he gets a call. The police found Simi's car on a bridge with her shoes and wallet. By the looks of it, she seems to have committed the unthinkable. Rasika finally calms down and thinks of a way to solve the problem. Meanwhile, Simi retaliates and refuses to cooperate. To scare her, the doctor draws her blood and threatens to sell her kidney for money. Later that day, Manohar arrives with a case full of money as ransom. As they are about to execute the next step of the plan, Saku and Murli betray Akash. They tie him to a chair and run outside to go through with their plan on their own.
Of course.
They do not trust Akash and want all the money for themselves. Ironically, Akash and Simi are locked in the same room as the hostages. Simi laughs at the absurdity of the situation, calling him a loser. Akash in turn says that she should be the most scared, because at this point, she is a burden to
First of all, Akash doesn't even deserve better. I mean, he does, low-key, but only reason why he wants to be blind is because he wanted that process of music. But that's dumb. So I don't really know if he does, even if he deserves better. I don't know.
Manohar. The best way for him to get out of this situation would be to kill her. At the same time, the doctor is going through Simi's blood report. His face lights up at something mentioned on the paper, and he quickly goes to meet her. In the hideout, Murli manages to get the bag of money, but Manohar shoots him before he can run away.
Damn.
Saku freaks out and traps the inspector in the elevator, stealing the bag right after. Then she brings Murli to the hospital, but he is too far gone to be saved. She also finds out the money she received is fake. In the meantime, Simi unties the rope around her hands and attacks Akash to kill him, but is stopped by Dr. Swami. They get into a struggle that ends when they knock her out. The doctor puts her inside the trunk and drives to Mumbai with Akash. On the way, he explains that Simi has a BRH negative blood group, which is extremely rare. A wealthy man's daughter is in desperate need of a liver from someone like Simi. If they sell her organ, they will earn more than 50 million bucks. Akash can do whatever he wants with half of it, even get a cornea transplant. However, he doesn't feel right because he will have to kill Simi for her liver. The scene abruptly cuts to 2 years later. Sophie is on a vacation in Europe, living her best life after forgetting everything that happened.
Damn, she's dating a white boy.
Happened with Akash, but the past follows her when she sees a poster of him outside a pub. He is playing the piano at the pub, as he had envisioned years ago. Sophie confronts him, and he tells her everything that happened. A flashback shows us Swami and Akash driving to Mumbai with Simi in the trunk. The doctor gets out of the car to give her another—
Y'all doing the chat? Y'all killing somebody for her blood for $50 million?
dosage of tranquilizer, but
I mean,
he is
first of all, for her liver to transplant it to somebody else for $50 million.
attacked and killed in the process. Then, Simi asks Akash to get out of the car and starts driving toward him. She is seconds away from hitting him when a gunshot is heard. It is the same noise we heard at the beginning of the film when the farmer was trying to kill the hare. The said hare jumps on the windshield, making Simi swerve and crash. She dies in the accident.
Oh
Akash takes the next
God.
bus to Mumbai and comes to London with the help of a friend. Ever since then, he has been working in the pub. He invites Sophie to one of his shows, but she has to catch a flight the next morning. They promise to keep in touch and go their separate
I already killed someone for 1 million, so why not?
of his shows, but she has to catch a flight the next morning. They promise to keep in touch and go their separate ways. In the last scene, Akash hits a can while walking down a street, leaving us wondering if
He did get the cornea trip.
he can still see. Subscribe for more
He
videos
can
like
see,
this.
dummy.
Turn on the notifications.
I think that is a form of trafficking. Wow, that is great. What is that? Oh, tripping. That was actually great. That was wow. Wow. I low-key want to see the Russian roulette one too. 250 IQ man has addiction escaping 33 world's toughest prisons in just 24 hours. How you addicted to movie name? Movie name is called movie name. What the fuck? Chad, this is the movie name. I swear. I swear this is the movie name. That is the movie name right there. I don't know why, but it is. Yeah, that's the what type of Bollywood movie name is that? Y'all, Loki, can we watch the Russian roulette one? I'm not asking for y'all permission. Watch it.
Welcome back to Movie